Let's return now to that State of the North 2019 report from the Institute for Public Policy Research. And some quite startling findings in there, one of them being that the UK is more regionally divided than any comparable advanced economy. It says that only countries like Romania and South Korea are more divided. Well, I'm joined now by IPPR Interim Director Arianna Giovannini. Hello, Arianna. Nice to speak to you this afternoon.
Hello. Hi.
So talk to me about the North-South divide. It's pretty vast, particularly when you're considering politicians time after time in every general election cycle or in the middle of another one talk about closing that gap.
Yes, certainly the North-South divide is particularly relevant, but actually with our research and in our report, we want to demonstrate and we clearly show that there are issues and differences in terms of regional inequalities between the North and the South, but these are actually spread across the entire, across the whole of England. So when we look at levels of inequality, we have low levels of investment, for example, that hold back regions in the north, but also in the Midlands and in the southwest. But at the same time, centralisation has led London housing crisis drive up poverty in the capital too. So yes, the North-South divide is relevant. We find evidence that is still there, but perhaps we need to widen the discussion about regional inequalities because this is an issue that cuts across the whole of the country.
Yeah, how do you tackle regional inequalities? We heard from the Mayor of Greater Manchester, Andy Burnham, a little bit earlier, who's a big champion for devolution. He says give more powers to the North because Westminster, for all their warm words, aren't tackling this inequality. Is that the answer?
Yes, in our report, actually, we look at regional inequalities, but we also try to understand what is the root cause of regional inequalities. And we have identified that over-centralization is one of the key issues. We made comparison with what is happening in other countries, and we found out that actually the UK and England in particular is over-centralized. And this is holding back all parts of the country. So yes, we actually agree with what Andy Burnham was just saying. And in our report, we have looked at, for example, the work that has been done so far and what devolution in England has allowed to do so far through the work of the metro mayors. But also we make a more of a kind of a bigger call, and we argue that devolution of real powers and resources to all regions, cities and towns across England is really key to make sure that all areas are empowered and that they can work together to bridge regional inequalities.
Okay, Arianna Giovannini from the IPPR, who brought out that report with some disturbing findings. And thank you very much for your time here this afternoon on Sky News. If you've got any thoughts on that report and that North-South divide, it's got worse over the last 10 years. Politicians telling you they're trying to make it better. What do you think? At Sky News, #SJM Show. And I'll go through some of your comments a little bit later on.